So Ron DeSantis has really hit a wall in the Republican primary. I mean, it depends on what poll you look at. I think he's around 12% or thereabouts. And remember, there was a time when he was at like 20%, maybe even 30%. So if anything, he lost ground, and then he stagnated and stayed exactly where he was, right? And there's been a lot of talk about Nikki. Oh my God, Nikki Haley surging, bro. She's surging, bro. You go look at the poll. She's at like 10%. So DeSantis is still ahead by 2. Nikki Haley surged to 10. I find all this so funny and weird and obnoxious because, of course, the media talks about these two, Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley, like they're serious. But Marianne Williamson, a poll just came out. She's at 14%, and she's not even allowed on TV. They don't talk about her. She's viewed as like a joke within mainstream circles. And that's infuriating, right? You have a sitting president, somebody challenging a sitting president. She's all the way at 14%. Nobody talks about her at all. Here you have these two goofballs at 12% and 10%, less than Marianne. And the media acts like they're serious, right? So clearly Ron DeSantis and his team internally have realized whatever our strategy was, it didn't work. And if you actually want to go for the nomination this time, you're going to have to hit the guy who's at 51% in the polls, who's destroying all of you. And so there was some sort of a strategic change here, and Ron DeSantis started to go more aggressively at Trump. Now, look, I think he's in between a rock and a hard place. I don't know if there's anything he could do to get him to win that nomination, unless, of course, Trump ends up literally behind bars and staying there, in which case then maybe he could win it, right? But look at this. So I'm going to play this video for you. Trump claimed that him debating Hillary after saying grab him by the pussy was braver than soldiers fighting in war. Oh, it's amazing. Trump is so Trump. Oh, my God. All right, so let's watch this.
But I went onto that stage just a few days later, and a general who's a fantastic general actually said to me, sir, I've been on the battlefield. Men have gone down on my left and on my right. I stood on hills where soldiers were killed. But I believe the bravest thing I've ever seen was the night you went onto that stage with Hillary Clinton after what happened. And then that woman asked you the first question about it. And I said, locker room talk. It's locker room talk. What the hell? What are you talking? Locker room talk.
That's so Trump. First of all, you could take this to the bank. Anytime he starts a story where he's like, and then they came up to me and they said, sir, why is your cock so big, sir? Sir? 12 inches? Is that a foot long, sir? Anytime he does the sir thing, 100% the story's made up. But this is classic Trump. He's just sucking himself off. But the general said, I've never seen anybody braver than you, sir. I've never seen anybody braver than you. When you went and you said that thing to Hillary Clinton, oh my God, sir, I think I came. I think I came. That's what he said to me. He said, my pants are full of splooge. So DeSantis sees this. Now, look, what's my reaction to this? It's just funny. Like, it's classic Trump. It's just funny. Total brazen lie, but he's charismatic. He goes up there. He does a little Trump thing. So DeSantis comes in off the top rope. Trump denigrates military service by claiming it is braver that he debated Hillary Clinton than what soldiers endure on the battlefield. Debating isn't brave. It's the bare minimum any candidate should do. Hiding from debates, on the other hand, is an example of cowardice. And it's like, okay, look, I want to defend DeSantis here, but like, you just sound like a 2015, 2016 era MSNBC resistance liberal. Right? Like, of all the things Trump says, of all the things Trump does, this is the thing you're leaning in on. He's telling a hilarious and made-up story about how he's braver than the troops for debating Hillary and having to defend the grab him by the pussy comments. This is the thing you pick? I am shocked and appalled. I can't believe you'd say that. You are not braver than the troops. I love the troops. You hate the troops. Why do you hate the troops so much, Don? It's so forced. Like, you know that when DeSantis first saw it, he didn't actually think that. He just probably giggled. I was like, look at this idiot, right? But instead, he does the, it's like the holier than thou, highfalutin, like those sorts of attacks. How dare you mention the troops like that, sir? How could you? It's not going to, this is not going to work. So look, I just want to point out real quick for you. Look at the stuff DeSantis doesn't hit Trump on. Guys, and I'll never understand for the life of me why this isn't a bigger deal, why more people don't bring this up. No Democrats are even bringing it up. Trump was just found liable of committing fraud. Tax fraud, insurance fraud, bank fraud. The evidence is a mile high. It's a mile high. He's going to have to pay a fine of up to $250 million. It's already done. He already lost the case. It's just a matter of how big is the fine going to be. Also, it's a virtual guarantee he's losing his business license in New York, which means the headquarters of the Trump organization is donezo. Then the question is, well, what happens with the other creditors? Are they all like, hey, we don't want to do business with him. It was already proven he's a massive fraud. So that seems like a big deal to me. Having 91 criminal charges seems like a big deal to me. When was the last time you heard any Democrat or any Republican who's a politician saying 91 criminal charges, 91 criminal charges, 91 criminal charges, 91 criminal charges, 91 criminal charges? Are they all fake? Are they all a witch hunt? Are they all not true? Or are you just a criminal? Are you just a criminal? They don't bring up the fraud thing. So he ignores all that. If anything, he defends Trump on that. But this is his line of attack. How do you expect to win? That's embarrassing. It is legit embarrassing that this is your line of attack. God, there's so many things. He's so ripe for attack, man. He's so ripe for attack. He tried to steal the last election. He tried to steal the last election. They defend him on that, but they attack him on his hilarious and made-up story about how he's braver than the troops. I can't. And it all feels like 2016, doesn't it? Like the lines of attack are like, sir, you were really mean in that tweet to Bette Midler. It's like, these are the things that people find entertaining about Trump. It's stuff like this. Attack him on the real stuff. Attack him on the policy stuff. But of course, the fact of the matter is, DeSantis can, because on policy, him and Trump almost totally agree. So he's in favor of all the tax cuts for the rich. He's in favor of the tax cuts for corporations. He's in favor of the so-called free trade deals, which end up outsourcing hundreds of thousands of factory jobs in this country, which, by the way, we lost 200,000 factory jobs under Donald Trump. He's in favor of the militarism. Trump assassinated a top Iranian commander who was fighting ISIS on the ground, basically acting as the de facto air force for ISIS. You think maybe that's ripe for an attack? Nope, because he agrees with him. He agrees with him. Oh, man. And look, I want to be clear. At the point we are now, it's not like there is anything DeSantis could say that would actually cut into the lead. That's the sad reality, right? It's that even with better lines of attack, it's probably not going to work. It's probably not going to work. But like, when you finally start to lean in at this way too late of a date, and this is your attack, no wonder Trump's crushing all of them. No wonder. It's just, none of these people know what they're doing. And it's depressing to watch. Because I got to be honest with you guys, I would much rather have any Republican candidate than Trump. Because there is a real question about, are we going to continue to have a peaceful transition of power if Trump gets elected again? Right? There's a real question. Will our institutions hold? Their whole goal in the second term is to make it so we don't have institutions anymore that are independent. We don't have checks and balances anymore. That's their whole point. That's Project 2025. That's the destruction of the administrative state. That's the point of putting loyalists in control so that when he says do X, Y, or Z, they just do it and none of them say, hey, that's actually not allowed or not right. So I'm concerned about it. I'd much rather have any other Republican. But they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. It's really embarrassing. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.